Hello class, I'd like to pick up with this tutorial where I'm going to build the CSS layout for this simple design that I have created in Photoshop. So back in Dreamweaver, I already got started here with the division tag layout. So I did a container, and then inside that container 4 division tags for header, menu, and then I called this one media. That would be where the photo goes, and then that photo could actually be a video, or it could be animation, JavaScript, whatever I wanted it to be. For now, it's just going to be a JPEG photo. And then a division tag for content underneath that. And then close the container division tag. Okay, so I'm going to go back to design, and I'm going to go ahead and go to my CSS styles and do my new CSS rule. Okay, so we're going to do ID, applies to container. We're going to do new style sheet. Click OK, and then we're going to save this as styles, and we're going to put it in the same site and click save. Alright, now in this particular case, the way that I'll do this tutorial is I'll probably build a few things for you, and then I'll to save time, I'll go ahead and build the site and then show you what I've done, because it would take a little while to build the entire thing to where I want it. But I'll show you how I do that. But let me just go ahead and continue with a little bit of the setup here. I'll do box, and then width of 100. I'm sorry, 1000, obviously, because that's the size we decided on. And then height, we're going to do auto. This is the container. Margin, unclick same for all. Just do right and left. Okay, and then click apply. Click OK. Okay, that's one. Now let's go ahead and do the second one. Now, how do you figure out how large you want that second division tag, which is the header? How large do you want that to be? Well, the easiest thing to do is just to figure out how big that image is that you created. Okay, so let me open that up real fast. So here's the title. If I right click on it, do get information, I can see that it's 607 by 110. Now the width doesn't matter as long as it's not bigger than 1000, but the height does. So 110 is what I'd want that division tag to be. Okay, so I'm going to do a new CSS rule for this one. Okay, this one's going to be the header. Click OK. Again, box of this one, again, let's do 1000 wide. And then we know what the height is because we just checked it. It's 110. And then left and right, auto. Okay, click apply. Okay, now we've got a place for that title up there at the top. Click OK. All right, let's put that title in, and then we'll start fixing the design. So, the title that I did here, just going to drag and drop that. Alt text, I would say logo or picture of title, or picture or Chevrolet title. I'll just click OK, and I'll go ahead and single click right beside it and then do right align. Okay, now's a good time to go ahead and set the background. So how do you know what color this background is? I'm going to go back to Photoshop. Let me just grab my little color picker right here, and you can see if I click it, it's 397 EC2. Okay, 397 EC2. It's a weird hexadecimal color. It's not web safe, but that's okay. So back in Dreamweaver, I'm going to go modify page properties, and then background. I want to type this out actually, so I want to just click in there and type it out. 397 EC2. Apply. Alright, so I've got my website matched up, the colors matched up. Now I can continue building the site. Okay, so I just added the division tag for the menu, and the menu I made it 1000 wide by 40 high, automatic margins on the left and right, and then a solid thin and white for the border on that one. Okay, and now I've built the media division tag. You can see that the image fits right in there. If I go check out the CSS for this, go to my box, it's 1000 by 353. That matches exactly the size of the image here. And then margins left and right auto, and I put another border on there. Looks pretty nice. Okay, and then the last thing I did here, I added the content division tag. If I double click on that, you can see that I did 1000 by 200 automatic margins, and then in the border I did another solid thin with a white color on there. Okay, and then I click OK. And then if I go to the styles.css, the code, here's something new for you, and you can get this code from the website. Well, you can get it from the example websites I posted. You can also get it from this site you're looking at right now, because I included the link for you. But this is the rounded rectangle, rounded division tag corners. Now, what you're looking at with the code here, it's this very bottom part. There's two parts to it. There's the Mozilla, and that's the Firefox portion, because it takes a little bit different script to make that browser work. And then there's the other part, works for pretty much all the other browsers, and it just tags the border. In this particular case, it does the bottom left border and then the bottom right, and then there's a number on there, so you can play around with those numbers. But you want to see the website that I included, the website link that I included for more examples on that, so you can see how it works. But I did just paste this in here, copy and paste it from one of my other websites, so you can do the same from mine, or you can do it from the example website. So how do you test that to see how it works? I'm going to do a file save all, and then I'll do a file preview in browser. Let me use Chrome. And let me scroll down. You can look at the bottom now, and you can see those. That's very rounded. Now you could try the top up here and create a little different look for a site that you might like. Let's go ahead and add that on and see if you like that look. I actually like it the way it is right now, but just to show you how that would look, let me hide it and come back here and close some of these others. And then we'll look at the site as a whole. Okay, so I'm ready to add the rounded corners to the top of this design. So I'll just come down here to the content, and I'm going to highlight just that section that pertains to the rounded corners. I'm going to copy with the Command C or Control C. Go up to the appropriate division tag, which is the menu. And then at the end of that rule, I'll just hit return once and then paste that in. Now what I'll do is I'll drop down the size of that curve maybe to 20 and try that out. So it's the first thing I need to do is drop the size down to 20, because it's a fairly small division tag, like a small height to begin with, so I need to decrease it. The other thing I need to do is change from the bottom to the top, because obviously that's what I want this to curve, is the top. So everywhere that you see that word bottom on there, just change it to the top, and then that's going to affect the top corner. Okay, and then do a file save, and let's do a file preview in browser, and you can see I get a little curve at the top. So that does help break up that blocky look of the website, makes it look a little more custom, and it's all kind of built in together now. So let's review what has happened in this website, and then don't forget you have this link to the site for you to examine on your own. You can always just right click and view the source for both the HTML and the CSS. So we started out in Photoshop and we created a couple graphics. We created this image at the top right here just by putting together a little logo and then some text with an effect on it, cropping and exporting, making note of the size. So we made a note of what that size is so that we don't make the division tag the wrong size. We also worked on this image right here. Started out with a pretty large image, downsized it to 1000 wide, and then cropped it, then exported it as a JPEG. The top title is exported as a GIF with this blue background so that the backgrounds match and you don't have to fool with transparency, which can sometimes affect the quality of your image. Okay, then we assembled this in Dreamweaver. It turned out a little bit big because you can see I got a scroll bar on there, up and down, not side to side. So, but that's okay. You know, the up and down scrolling is not too big of a deal as long as you have your main menu up above so that people don't have to scroll down to get to it. So we assembled this division tag layout. We did a container, then we did a header division tag, then a menu, then a media, and we could have like photos that switch through there. We could have content on top of this also if we wanted. And then we have the content division tag at the bottom. We added in something new, rounded corners in CSS, so you have the code for that now in the example site. We've got the bottom left and bottom right rounded corners at 50 pixels, and then we added the rounded corners at the top to kind of make the site flow together, and you get that nice look right there. I mean, that could be a site on its own right there if you like that without this title at the top. Just have it look like that and have a title right there on the page and have the menu right at the top. Have the title built into the image so you know what the site is. So a lot of different options here for you with this website. Again, this is a site that centers in your browser. Centers just like that. And then you can check it on different size monitors if you want. But lots of things going on there. I hope that this helps you out, helps you get started with kind of combining all of this together. One last thing here that you can do, if you wanted to, for example, make this image a background and then have something on top of it, you can do that pretty easily. Back in Dreamweaver, what you would do is just get rid of that image and then go back to your division tag for your media. And then where it says background, just choose your background image. So you choose the right photo, click apply, and OK. And that means that now this, you could actually type on top of this. You probably wouldn't do that unless your photo was faded out enough, or you could put a box on top of it with some content. But you can actually type right on top of that image. Just like that. So if the image is light enough, what would probably work better is if you put a table or something on there with a background color, or something you know, that in Photoshop that kind of faded that out a little bit more. But anyway, that's how you would use a background image within a division tag. So that's it for this tutorial. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll pick up here with this site again and add a few more things to it in the next few tutorials.